I just want to, as I said, I'm only going to make these videos from now on if they're positive and if they're helping people. Anyone can read the negative news and dwell upon the depths of despondency in order to somehow validate your existence, or else to get caught up in it thinking it's hopeless. This is not what I'm interested in anymore. I don't care if I've only got like a short amount of time to live. I'm not going to live my life that way. And, you know, Dylan Thomas, words rage against the dying of the light. And I've been like that since I was a little kid, and I'm not going to change. Now, when you look back at your life, when you get to be a certain vintage, should we say, you start to realize that the long haul had a meaning, but it wasn't necessarily what gave it meaning, what gave your life meaning. By that I mean the long haul, you look back on it and you say, wow, it was full of synchronicities and remarkable coincidences and amazing things that happened that stitched the story together. That's true. But what you remember most are the moments of magic, the moments of stolen magic. You could look at a love affair that way. There's like a love affair begins, it flourishes, and then it ends. And then you may be hung up on the breakup for a while, but then all you remember then after that is the moments of magic that made it special. And then you realize, well, that's how it should have always been. It should not have been about a relationship. It should have been about the magic. And that's the same thing, like, when you had a, say, like that song by Bruce Springsteen, Glory Days. It's a very wise song. There's a lot of wisdom in that song. I quite like that song too. It's kind of like endearing, but it's very, very true. And he goes, when I get old, I probably won't be, I don't want to be talking about it, but I probably will. That's like, because the reason why you probably will is because those moments of stolen magic are the ones that brought the spice to your existence. Where the whole story may have been the meal, it's those moments of stolen magic, those moments of bliss, those moments of serendipity, those happy experiences. Again, the love affair thing is the best way of putting it. You only end up remembering the magic times. You don't remember the crap times because they were meaningless. And then you realize, well, maybe relationships are bullshit. Maybe you're only supposed to have those stolen moments of magic. And I kind of agree with that in many ways. I kind of agree with that. It's like, you know, everybody remembers Romeo and Juliet and Mark Antony and Cleopatra, Maud Gonne and William Butler Yeats, but nobody remembers the the couple who grew old together and did nothing. Like what I'm saying, that kind of thing. Not saying there's anything wrong with a long term relationship. I'm just saying that like it's this is why these stories appeal to us. They're moments of stolen magic that give life its essence, its spark, not the whole picture necessarily. This brings us around to the current situation we're in at the moment. It's very easy to fall into the abyss. It's very easy to fall into the pit, and I'm not judging people for that. It's very understandable. But you can't fall forever, and you cannot let the darkness overcome you, because eventually a situation arises where there's so much darkness you see no light, and that's not healthy. A lot of that comes from idealism. Religion puts that into people's heads, like there's going to be a savior, or there's going to be a salvationary moment, or there's going to be a prophet or something. Like, uh, I've had lots of people over the years say to me, Sheridan, you're all full of talk about this. Well, what's the answer? My answer is, I don't fucking know. I don't have the answers, but what I do know is that what brings bliss into one's life is definitely something worth grasping for and finding and attaining, no matter how bad or despondent or dark things get, those moments of stolen magic are always worth attempting to procure and take into your life, to be Prometheus, to temporarily steal the fire from the gods. And that to me is so important. When you're in a state of despondency, unless you're a sad sack misery guts who misery love company types, the the ideal thing is to follow your dharma. You must follow your dharma no matter what. No matter what changes happen in the outside world. No matter what, if you want to, and dharma doesn't necessarily mean, some grandiose thing like I'm going to be the greatest sculptor that ever lived, or I'm going to write the American classic song. No, no, no. Your dharma could be the best mother you could be. Your dharma could be the best yoga teacher you could be. Your dharma could be the best carpenter you could be. Your dharma is not necessarily, and often not, some grandiose thing. Yes, it could be art related, but it could be that kind of thing, sports or something like that. But that's not necessarily, what dharma is. The dharma is what you're meant to be. And it's not what gives you bliss. And when I say bliss, I mean a job well done that makes you feel like you did the job well. And that could be a mother, that could be a father, that could be, a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, a priest, a shyster, a shaman, all those things, But what brings the bliss to you? What brings that dharma to you? Because when you're in dharma, you really know it, because what happens in the outside world doesn't affect you. I don't fully know what my own dharma is, to be honest with you. I just, as a, that has to be similar. A friend of mine just pulled up in her flower van. That she sells flowers. Maybe that's, I don't know. I'm not a gardener, I can tell you that, or a florist. But I was just thought there would be a symbolism in that thing coming around the corner as I said that. When I said I don't know what my dharma is, well, maybe that is my dharma, to help people, enjoy life, to bring fun to people. I don't know. Relax people. I don't know. Because I've got so many things going on. I think my dharma is just to be me. I think that's what it is. As fucking bizarre and complicated as I am, I'm happiest when I'm fucking bizarre and complicated. And maybe that's my dharma. Maybe that's my dharma. And whatever it is, I know, like when I'm helping people or talking about ancient mysteries or being me as you guys know me, that gives me the most happiness. That gives me the most contentment. So I guess my dharma is just being me, whatever I am. But that's, maybe my personality is my dharma. That's probably what it is. My personality is my dharma. Cause I, a lot of people tell me I have a really powerful personality and I have a really strong charisma. And I've been told since I was a little kid. Even a little kid, teachers told me that. He says you really do stand out in the class and stuff like that. So maybe that's my dharma, to use that to make the world and make people feel a bit more relaxed, and to help them find their dharma. If that was true, then that's, no bad mean thing. I would be very happy with that. But I haven't really thought that deeply about it. But I think we all have something. If your dharma is to be, some women love being mothers, and you can always tell. I always love those. On Facebook and social media, where like someone posts a picture of like the family, and you can really see the love and beauty in that family. Like there's one lady called Miriam, and she posted a picture of her three little girls and her husband. And it was just one of these things, you look at those photographs and say, yeah, that's what's right with the world. That kind of a thing. And it's like, and those families, I love those kind of family photos where the kids have a sparkle in their eyes because they know their parents love them and take care of them. And you're always going to be helpful to them. There's something special about that. Like that's a beautiful dharma. In fact, that's probably the most powerful dharma in the world. That offers more than fuckers like me writing books or making films in many ways. Although that's important in its own way. But that's probably the greatest dharma of all, is to have that kind of a dharma. But, or if you're a yoga teacher, or if you're a musician or a singer, and that not necessarily has to do with fame. You know, you could still dance when you're old, even if you didn't make it to Broadway. You know, remember that. And this is important, because in this time of darkness at the moment, and you know, I'm now hearing that all of Australia is going to end up like Victoria. It won't last, folks. I mean, the Third Reich was supposed to last 1,000 years. It lasted for 12. The Soviet Union didn't even last a century. You know, whenever it's a monstrous thing, it always eats itself alive. And what's eating this thing alive is the denial. I would say if there's one phenomenon that encapsulates the whole Rona thing from the start, it's colossal, the levels of denial. Denial at first that maybe it was overblown. Denial that countries that didn't have lockdowns like Sweden thrived and have less cases than countries that had hard lockdowns like Ireland. Denial that your child having a heart attack, children suddenly all having heart attacks out of the blue after they had needlecraft is somehow a normal part of life. No, that's a terrifying denial. Denial that sports stars dropping all over the place is somehow normal after they've been needlecrafted. That's what this is. This is the land of denial, right? This is where we are now. We will be known. This will be known as the great age of denial in years to come, and that's the only thing keeping this power structure, the psychopathic control grid, going, is that they still have convinced the normies to be in extreme denial, rather than them saying, you know, that having that moment like you're full of shit, like the Emperor's New Clothes. And those days are coming. I see it more and more all the time. It's only a matter of time, like the Indian in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the normies throw the water. It's one thing, the politicians and the globalists will push it too far, you know, and they'll pick up like the Indian in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. They'll pick up that water fountain and throw it through the window and run to freedom. Absolutely. And so, you know, like I see a lot of people now saying we should get together and, you know, yeah, you get together and support one another, but don't get together and expect a movement of change, because they're always corrupted. That I saw that. I mean, the video, the parody video that Christian Morris made of the event in Dublin week. It was a bit harsh. It was a bit harsh, but it's also the truth, and the truth hurts. And people say, you know, I was looking at that and it says, you know, you went a bit harsh then, but then I realised that what Christian was doing was tough love. It was tough love. It was holding the mirror up to the absurdity of what you were. I think it was ridiculous. You know, the smiling, happy faces singing it. You know, like the same ones who were there for anti-fluoride stuff, the same ones who were there for the water protest, and nothing ever got done. You know, it's just the same thing over and over again. And you know, the professional protesters with their number up that you can call them so you can rent them for your next protest. Like, come on, folks, that's right there. No one is going to take you seriously. You know, your heart may be in the right place, but no one is going to take you seriously after that. Putting your phone number up on a banner saying, we're available for your next protest, like you're a wedding band or something. I'm not putting it down as people. I'm sure your heart's in the right place, but boy, that does not look good if you think you're actually going to threaten the establishment. Very much the opposite. Very much the opposite. And I just don't know. I just, you know, like, I know, I said, don't go to those protests. You'll only come away feeling worse. Don't surround yourself with negative, dark people. Yes, I know there's a lot of shit out there, and that's why I don't answer the comments on the wall that say things like, but it's going to get much worse. The Illuminati are going to, like, you know, inject us all with the microchips, and it's going to be a living hell for all eternity. That may be for you, but it's not for me, okay? I'm not going to live that way, and if death is the answer, death is the answer. But we're a long way from that point at the moment. A long way, okay? So don't drag us into a world we're not ready to go to yet, okay? Don't self-hex me, please. And don't try to self-hex yourself, but don't try to self-hex me. A lot of that goes on. Yes, it's good to be cynical. Yes, it's good to know what these people are up to. But from the day one that I appeared on this scene, I said, yes, there's fucking psychopaths running the show, but life is full of wonderful things to distract you from it, until they automatically, and they always do, destroy themselves. And that's what I mean by moments of stolen magic and moments of stolen glory. These are important things, because when you reach a certain vintage, you will look back on your life and say, "Oh Jesus, do you remember that time I did this? Remember that time we did that? Remember that time that?" And it really brings joy to you. It really brings joy to you, And that's what we live for going forward. Because I'm looking for those things now, and I'm looking for those things in the future. So thank you very much. Look after yourselves. Enjoy what moments of stolen magic you can find. And do not be eaten by the monsters of despondency. And that includes the monster of despondency inside yourself. And like I said, a dark night of the soul every so often is fine. A dark year of the soul is terrible, okay, because you've lost out on a whole year where you could have had moments or days or weeks or times of stolen glory and happiness and bliss. Follow your dharma, as Joseph Campbell said, and follow your bliss. It's the same thing. Follow your bliss and follow your dharma is the same thing. And every so often, just like Prometheus, steal some fire from the gods. I'll do another video on the Thomas Sheridan channel now on Brian Boru, which which will be controversial, but it's still the truth. Okay, so take care and enjoy your fucking life, please. Whoa, go away, go away, go away. Bye.